Yo, what's up, guys? So, as many of you may know, the new Diablo expansion is launching tonight, or it's already launched, depending on when you're watching this vlog. And if you're like a lot of people, I know you're probably wondering whether or not you should spend the $40 on the expansion, whether it's worth your time. And I want to give you guys some of the problems that I see with the game as it is right now, and a lot of things that are easily fixed, including the issue that Athene already stated that there is little to no end game, and I think Reaper of Souls actually fixes that a bit by adding the fact that if you're level 70 and you're grinding on the highest level of difficulty, you get drops that you can only get on that difficulty level. The problem I see though is that while you're leveling, and right now, you can grind on the lowest level of difficulty, but you can get the same quality of gear as somebody that's grinding on the highest level of difficulty. And the problem with that is that right now, what I'm doing essentially is I'm just running my barbarian through normal, and I'm getting the highest gear that I possibly can get. And what that does is it really ruins any kind of incentive to gear up and progress, which is what made games like World of Warcraft, the original vanilla version, so fun, is that it had the reward of your time that you put into the game. You put in a lot of time to progress through these hard bosses, and then you get the reward that nobody else has. But with this game right now, is everything's completely random, which is kind of cool. But at the same time, I want to know that if I go into Torment 3, that I'm going to get gear that's going to allow me to progress through Torment 4 and allow me to progress even further. And the fact that the gear is just completely random kind of ruins the feeling of progression. It's more just like a lottery, and I don't really like that feeling. The way I think this could be fixed is that every legendary has different levels of difficulty on it. Say you find a legendary in normal, it's a normal legendary. Similar to the way WoW has the same versions of the same gear, but you have regular, then you have heroic version, and maybe like a recolor or something. Also, with that, I think the crafting system could be improved where you get certain materials from each level of difficulty and you use those mats to create higher levels of gear. So, in summary, do I think that you guys should buy Diablo 3 right now in its current state? I think that a lot of the feelings of lack of progression will be addressed with the addition of the new legendaries that they're going to add to the hardest difficulties at level 70. But right now, it feels really pointless to level on any other difficulty than normal. And it gets kind of monotonous when you're just grinding through mobs and one-shotting all of them on normal difficulty. So right now, I feel that if you're just going for endgame and you're just going for the level 70, I feel it's okay. But if you really want a challenge and you want the feeling of getting rewarded for trying harder levels of difficulty before level 70, it doesn't feel very rewarding. However, I don't know how it feels at level 70, so I'm going to say it's pretty much up to you guys whether or not you can stick it through to level 70 and how level 70 content is as far as how the difficulty scales. I have no idea yet, so I will do a follow-up vlog, but as of right now, until you get to 70 and until you get to that point, I'm not really sure how it's going to be because right now the feeling of progression is just not there. It doesn't feel like you're progressing at all. It just feels like you're mindlessly grinding mobs and you're getting better gear, yes, but what is the point? That's the problem. Like, why are you trying to get better gear? Going into the higher torment levels, there really is no point. You get more here, but it's just not worth the time that it takes to kill mobs in torment. Just grinding through normal is just the best way to do it, and I don't like that system, but that's just how it is right now. I think that normal should just be for if you're starting on a character and you're just trying to get by, then you find the gear that's in normal. But right now, you find the best gear. I found the best weapon I've found grinding in Act 1 normal. And I don't feel like that's rewarding. I feel like it was just kind of randomly given to me. It was just kind of a fluke. It would just be the same as somebody buying it off the auction house. Like, hey, man, here's a free weapon. I would much rather have gotten that weapon after I killed Diablo on Torment 3, after it took me like 3 hours of attempts. And I want the reward, though. I don't want to sit there and grind on Diablo for 3 hours and then get some blues. I want like a legit drop table. And I think that's what the game lacks right now is good drop tables for harder levels of difficulty. And I think that really should be addressed, especially for people like me that like to level in harder levels of difficulty. Like I would much rather level on Torment 1 or 2 from 1 to 60 and get amazing gear rather than just grinding through normal from 1 to 60 and just getting the same gear that I would be getting, except I'm just doing it much quicker on normal difficulty rather than Torment 5, where you're getting more drops, but it's taking you so long that it's not even worth the time to be grinding these mobs. It's much better just to grind the mobs in normal, and that system is not very rewarding in my opinion. So that's my thoughts. Like I said, I will be buying the expansion. I will be trying it out, and I'll do another vlog after I've played enough at 70 to have an opinion of it. So stay tuned for that, and I do hope that maybe somebody at Blizzard sees this vlog somehow, or these changes that I'm talking about are already in the processes of being reworked, so I can really get that feeling that I'm progressing and not just grinding for no reason. This Diablo kill pretty much shows what I'm talking about, where it's really hard to kill Diablo for me on Torment 3, but I'm not getting rewarded at all for the difficulty, so yeah.